Hey guys, welcome back to VW Family Farm. This video is probably not going to be very long, but it is something that recently I've been thinking about and has come to my attention, and I feel responsible to share it with you guys because it is something that could potentially ruin everything you're working for. So unless you just really don't hear about things or pay attention to things at all, you did hear about Hurricane Helene and the catastrophic devastation out in eastern Tennessee, western North Carolina. And we were recently out in Gatlinburg ourselves, and some of the major roads out there are still shut down. It is still such a disaster area. People are still living in tents, trying to survive this winter. It is just literally devastated out there. You might have also heard, and this is not to debate this one way or the other. It's not to fact check it. I'm telling you right now, I do not know if this is true, so before you come at me, but it was reported, and there's been a lot of debate over the fact that a lot of people received $750. That's what they received from our government. Whether there's more coming to them, I don't know. Whether there's been things passed and that was just an initial payment, all of that has been said. You do have to remember that we were in the middle of an election season when this took place. So this was very politicized. But the fact remains, the government did not come save these people. One thing I want to talk about today, and it's something I just really want you to think about, and then I want you to take this video as a jumping off point and research for yourselves, is the fact that floods and earthquakes are something that are very unpredictable. That was such a shock to the people there. We can sit in our recliners and watch from home and think, why were they not better prepared? You can't prepare for things you don't even know are coming. So please don't judge them. They are living through the worst nightmare of their lives. So things like floods and earthquakes, you can't always prepare for those and prevent things from happening to your home, your farm, your homestead. But the biggest thing I think that you guys need to realize is most basic homeowners insurance do not even cover these. They do not cover floods, and they do not cover earthquakes. And I just kind of started out with floods, but I kind of want to hone in on earthquakes here today. So we live in central Arkansas. We live near the New Madrid fault line. We live in the New Madrid seismic zone. And if you go look at maps on that, you may also, if you're anywhere like in the middle of the country, or maybe you live near another fault line, that's something you need to research, is how close do you live to an earthquake zone. Let me also just insert here, this video is not to strike fear, because as a kid, I grew up with a lot of fear. I have like a core memory of some guy, I don't even know who it was or their name, don't care at this point, predicting that the New Madrid fault line was going to have a major earthquake. And that's one thing to predict that, but he predicted it down to the day and the time. And I just remember having so much fear about that. We were practicing for that at school and all the things, and just people were speculating, is that happening? Is it not? And just as a kid, a young kid, just thinking that, you know, hey, this could be the last time I go to sleep. This could be the last time I wake up. This could be the last time I go to school. I don't like that feeling. I dealt with that a lot as a child, dealing with fear. And so I've overcome a lot of fear in my life. So this is not a fear video. This is a preparedness video. So there's different levels of earthquake damage that can happen. I've really been looking into this because I looked into it for ourselves, for our farm. We have our home, and then we have our barns and outbuildings and things like that. All those structures could be damaged. Even if they don't collapse, they could be, their foundations could shift. They could shift off their foundation. They could have cracks, you know, in the parts of the building. You could have a partial collapse, just all kinds of things. Especially not all of our buildings are new buildings. We are reused and repurposed people. We still have barns standing that Ben's grandpa built or used, or that were even before him. So they're solid. I mean, they're old, solid built buildings, but they're old. So it's not like everything we have would probably withstand an earthquake. We are really in 2025 focusing on paying off debt and being more frugal. We've been frugal in the past, and then we've kind of got lazy on that about just different habits we have in our life, and yours are going to be different than ours. But we are really focusing on paying off debt this year. And then just to think about the fact that a natural disaster could come through that you have no control over, and you think that you would be covered for, and then everything could just be gone, and everything that you have been working hard to pay off is now destroyed, and there's no help coming. It's pretty devastating to think about. If you think about everything being destroyed, or even one building suffering damage, if you have a house and that is what you have, your house suffering major damage, and you think, well, there's got to be some sort of assistance coming, and you get $750. Can you imagine how that's going to feel? So to summarize, I would say find out, do you live in an earthquake zone? Do you live near a fault line? Also, find out, do you have coverage for floods and earthquakes? Because most likely, if you don't know, you don't. And I want to say this. When I called to find out if we did and found out we didn't, it's pretty minimal compared to the risk you're taking by not having it. And also, I would probably be willing to bet that your insurance agent does, because they know how valuable that would be if you ever need it. But it is based on where you live, and I just told you we are near the area that would be extreme damage if there was a major earthquake on the New Madrid fault line. So we're probably in a higher rate than like most people would be. Also, it depends on your property value. But we have a lot of buildings here on our farm and up near our house. We have the store, all the things, and ours was just pretty minimal compared to what I was thinking, like $200 to $300 a year. And then you can pay that per year. You can pay it out. I don't know how it all works. This is not trying to sell you insurance, but I'm just trying to tell you that it's a major risk for a couple $100. So I just want you guys to think about that. It's something I've really thought about lately, and I've told my family members, like, how many people are not prepared for natural disasters, and how sad it is with all the flooding and everything from Hurricane Helene, what a mess those people are in now. And that's not their fault. Most people just simply don't know. Thanks for hanging with me, and I hope you will, like I said, take this video and do some research on your own. Figure out where you're at in all of this. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, and God bless. Let me just put a little ending on this video and just tell you that I realize this video sounds a little sales pitchy. There's no ulterior motive. I literally have just been thinking and researching this for myself, and really hate to see you guys pay insurance all these years and think you're covered, and then a natural disaster like this come along and you lose everything. That's the only motivation to this video. See ya.